Everyone, and welcome to Battle of the Beast Transformation Takedown, episode number 14. I'm Adam, and today we got the second to last fight of round 1. With two beasts fighting out for a spot in round 2, both of these beasts are ones which I really wanted to make it into round 2. But unfortunately, only one can. And I don't know which one will make it into round 2. But with that, let's introduce these beasts. Representing Series 9, the Warlock Staff, the last beast to participate in this tournament from this series, we have Silver, the Wild Terror, versus his opponent. A representative of Series 30, the last beast to participate from that series in this tournament, and actually the last beast of that series as well, being Selkara, Monster of the Depths. So yeah, Silver versus Selkara. This is definitely one of the better fights in my opinion, where two very good beasts are fighting it, battling it out, and I don't know who's going to win. I really don't. So let's get to the stats. Silver the Wild Terror. In the land of Seraph, the evil wizard Malvel used the Warlock Staff to turn Silver into a terrifying beast, many times his usual size. Age 35, power 270, magic level 150, fright factor 95, size 237. Powers and abilities: natural weaponry, enhanced strength, canine manipulation, and cold adaptation. With the natural weaponry, Silver has sharp claws and fangs, as well as spiked fur running along his back. Enhanced strength, I don't think I need to explain. Canine manipulation, he can call and control wolves. Okay. And cold adaptation, obviously can survive in cold environments. Weaknesses is reversion. Selkara, Monster of the Depths. This beast does not have a bio, nor does she have any stats, so I can only do her abilities, which is enhanced strength, enhanced speed in water, and natural weaponry. Weaknesses would be land restriction limits. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so with that, we got Silver versus Selkara. The battlefield will be in the clock arena, and let's let the battle begin. As the chamber doors open, Silver bounds out into the centre of the arena, howls into the sky, and as he does that, he howls so loud that the water starts rippling. But is that from his howl, or is that from Selkara emerging from from her chamber? She swims around the arena, bursts out, breaking the surface, and just roars into the arena. Silver turns around and sees Selkara and immediately runs along a spoke towards her and goes to slash a claw at him. Selkara sees that and just leans back to avoid the slash and dives back under the water. Silver, looking into the water to try and find Selkara, can't seem to find her whatsoever. What Selkara does, though, she's swimming deep enough underwater to where Silver can't see her, and then coming from behind Silver, she swims up directly towards the surface, but instead of breaking the surface, she shatters the spoke which Silver was on. As the spoke shatters, Silver sees that he's about to be pulled under the water, but immediately leaps to another spoke, which Selkara sees and breaks that spoke. Silver leaps to another spoke and immediately beelines straight for the center. Selkara chasing after Silver, breaking the surface, leaping out of the water to tackle Silver, but just barely missed. Silver makes it safely back to the center arena as Selkara breaks every other spoke, trapping Silver on the center island. Silver's access to the land is now restricted, and Selkara emerges at the side of the arena, just staring at him. Selkara starts taunting Silver, causing him to come close. Do the doggy paddle and all that kind of thing. Silver growls in aggression, trying to wait impatiently for Selkara to come near. Selkara decides that she's bored of waiting for Silver and decides that she's going to make Silver swim. She dives underwater, and Silver, knowing exactly what Selkara's planned to do, just stays there. And when Selkara comes up towards the center island, trying to shatter it, Silver immediately jumps from the center island onto a perch of the arena, doing quite an impressive jump, just barely making it, as Selkara stares in utter shock at what Silver just did. Selkara grabs some of the fallen island with her hands and chucks them all at Silver. Silver sees it coming and runs along the arena as Selkara keeps chucking rocks directly at Silver. Eventually, one hits Silver in the side, making him lose his balance, and Silver falls into the water. Selkara grins as she makes her way towards Silver, grabbing Silver by one of the rear claws and pulling him down into the water. Silver takes one last gulp of air before being submerged under the water, and then turns around to face Selkara, who's already impaling him with her claws, digging into Silver, pulling Silver down deeper and deeper into the water, whilst also causing pain inflicted on Silver's legs and sides. Silver uses his claws and slashes at Selkara and slicing her face. She just retorts back by grabbing onto one of his claws, stabs the claws, and then bending her arm, breaking one of Silver's front paws. Silver lets out a yelp of pain, losing some air, but Selkara stays persistent. She wraps her tail around Silver's other front claw, and then using her head, she pushes Silver's head backwards as she continues to pull him down. Silver uses his rear claws to push Selkara away and slashing at Selkara's tail, causing Silver to make an escape to try and get to the top of the surface, breathing in more air, trying to find any leftover land from the spokes just to get up on. He finds a nearby bit of land and tries to get onto it, but Selkara is not letting him. She comes back up to the surface, pulling Silver down even more. Silver's kicking at Selkara, just trying to get to some land, but Selkara stays persistent. She wraps her tail around both of Silver's rear legs and pulls Silver down again as Silver's only working paw makes it to the land. He digs it into the rock as Selkara's pulling him down. Silver's is trying to get onto the land, but Selkara's not letting him. Selkara then decides that, okay, I'll let Silver get onto land, but it's going to cost him. She uses two of her claws and stabs it into the flanks of Silver, causing Silver to yelp in pain before Selkara uses her other arms to snap Silver's rear legs. As Silver finally makes it onto land with the help of Selkara helping him onto land, showing a little bit of mercy, Selkara then goes to one side of the arena and just stares at Silver as Silver's trying to regain himself from his wounds after having 3 broken legs. Silver stares at Selkara, refusing to let this beast know that he's scared of this beast now. Selkara just stares, laughing away, knowing that she has the advantage. Silver growls in aggression and barks, causing loud enough for the water to ripple from where he is. Selkara seems unfazed by this and just sees that Silver is struggling to stand up with his rear legs just on the floor, he's only being supported by one paw. Silver has no good way of transportation. He can't move whatsoever, and he's just staring down Selkara, who has the whole arena at her disposal. Eventually, Selkara gets bored of Eventually, Selkara just thinks that Silver's had enough time to reel from the injuries which she inflicted on him, and makes her way towards Silver. Silver, knowing what's going to happen, waits for Selkara to dive underwater, which she does, and shatters the spoke, causing Silver to go underwater. Selkara wraps her tail around Silver's legs, causing more pain to come from Silver, but Silver leans himself forward and bites down on one of Selkara's arms. Selkara tries to pull Silver away from her And when she does that, she unknowingly makes Silver snap one of Selkara's arms with his grip on her arm, and Selkara twists Silver to try and loosen him off her, which snaps one of her arms. Selkara roars in pain and in retaliation slaps Silver, but Silver grabs that arm with his mouth, and using his claw, he slashes at it, breaking that arm as well. Selkara, frustrated by this, using her tail to wrap that tail around his only good claw, then decides that she's going to make this puppy drown. She uses her remaining hands to grab onto that one good paw and break it, causing all the Silver's paws to be broken and Silver unable to try and make himself stay afloat. And at that point, Selkara releases her grip off of Silver and watches Silver try and struggle to stay afloat, but with all of his paws broken, he's slowly going down deeper and deeper into the water. Selkara just watches as Silver is staring at the surface helplessly, trying to get up there. And Selkara just follows Silver down at a safe distance, just watching Silver struggle. Silver's seeing the pure hatred and evil in this beast's eyes as Selkara is watching the life drain from Silver's. Selkara knows she's won, and while she's nursing her two broken arms, she's watching Silver helplessly drown to his death. And as the life fades from Silver's eyes and his body starts to float up towards the surface, Selkara decides that no, this beast doesn't deserve to stay near the surface. She tackles Silver's corpse, brings it down to the ground, and using a claw, stabs it into Silver's neck, breaking the neck open like that, with the head jolting that way and the body jolting that way. She then grabs multiple rocks and pins each limb of Silver down to the ground, pinning Silver's lifeless body to the ground so it won't float to the surface. Selkara then makes her way back to her chamber, satisfied with this victory. Selkara has won, Silver has lost. If you think Silver should have won, please comment below. You think of that. How are my words final? And Selkara's moving on to the next round. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I think. I'm sorry. I'm lost for words. I think for once I've done something that I never thought I'll actually do. I've done something in Battle of the Beasts that instead of made me boost my opinion on a beast, it made me dislike one more. Right. I don't know what to say. I mean, okay. Let's start things off by saying Silver is based off a dog. For those who don't know, I adore dogs. I have 3 pet dogs of my own, one of which is the same colour as this one. Yeah, close enough anyway, white and brown. But the thing is, though, I adore dogs, and doing tournaments with dogs, normally I would tend to lean towards a dog, but not show overall bias towards them. But the way in which this one died, I established Series 30 beasts because they're criminals transformed into beast. I thought it would be a good idea to, make them very evil and vindictive, very merciless, ones that don't care for anything and will make their opponents suffer. And that's what I was able to do for this round with the Series 30 beasts, but this one's too far for me. This one was too far for me. I think if this was any other beast, I would be like, oh, that was a great battle. But and think nothing different. I mean, I think I like Selkara more. But with this one, it's just a case of like, if Silver wasn't a wolf, I would not have a problem with this fight. But whilst I still think it's a good fight, I think the way in which Silver died was so mean spirited. And I'm only realizing what I've done after this fight. Where Silver got a death which was nowhere near deserved. And whilst it was brutal and not violent, but mean spirited as well, it fits along with a trend which I've been doing since the Insects Only tournament, and even before that, where I've done rather violent deaths, and I don't think Silver deserved that one. Silver didn't deserve that death. He got a death which was overly violent, and was it was predicted. I mean, Lucas saw this one coming. I think I could have made it a bit more quicker, I guess. Yeah. I think I'm going to end this video here. We'll get on to the final fight and move on from this one, but Selkara's won. I'm not proud about this one. I think it was a good fight, but I'm not proud about this victory at all. Yeah, I'm gonna take my time with recording the next fight. This fight is recorded on the 23rd when Ursus vs Hyrix was released, and so plenty of time. So this next fight will be released the very next day. But I'm gonna spend some time with my dogs now, because I just feel really bad. So until then, that's all for this time. Like we saw, you like people, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.